Okay, so this is my very first shop tour. So don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go from left to right, I guess, and name out everything. So you can see I'm standing at the door. This is a crawl space, a very tall crawl space, and I have raised floors here. And I did videos on all this while I was building it, and it's not perfect, but it works for me. So this is the view from the door. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start on this side. This is my bench. This is one of the first things I built, and for the longest time the top had so much stuff on it I couldn't work on it, but just recently I got some of this stuff off. I attached back to the bench. It's really simple, 4x4 MDF top on top of plywood. So I don't know, there's really not that much to that. It looks like the wall was part of it, but the wall is completely separate. It's tied into the floor joist, and then I've got I believe this is 1/2-inch plywood, yeah, and ran some outlets, and I'll get to that box in a second, but ran some outlets there. Got my garbage can, just nothing special there, and a pencil sharpener. This thing is fantastic. I tend to break a lot of lead. And then my fans, I'll get into that too, but moving on, just started building this French cleat stuff, and these are open, and I've got one open on this side, but holding stuff like the engineering squares and the paint can openers, and then just the specialized stuff for the tools, chisels, some punches, and of course just regular pliers, and then screwdrivers, and Allen. That pretty much does it up there. I want to do more there, but that's as far as I've got. Down on the bottom shelf I have my combination belt disc sander from Win, so it's pretty cool. Have my track saw, DeWalt track saw. Love that thing. Can't run a full, well, I could run a full sheet of plywood, but through my table saw, but it's not really fun. So that helps in that situation. The track saw does. I believe that is the planer, a power planer, and then my impact driver and drill. So that pretty much covers the bench. Since we're in a crawl space, you can see the vapor barrier, but I have a dehumidifier set at keeping it at 65%, and it empties into a condensate pump that you see right there, and then I have that tied into the HVAC drain, so it runs, a lot, but it dumps out right there. Moving on, have my sawhorses that I made. I use those, I can put them in here, even on the floor here, and run the track saw if it's cold or rainy or whatever outside, and I don't want to do it outside. I have room enough to do that. Alright, here, air compressor, nothing big, drill press, just a little table to hold it. Don't use these guys too much. In fact, I haven't used the drill press in a long time, but I plan to soon. This is my mobile air cleaner cart. I have a video on it too, but really I should be running it right now, but anyhow, that's that. I have my planer and my joiner on the stand, or a cart that I made. Nothing real special there. Love both of those things. My huge Bessie clamps, which I don't have a spot for. That'll be something soon. Have to do a clamp rack of some sort. Not sure where I'm going to put it. This is my server cabinet. It got a little loud with it upstairs, so I will back up a little. So I made this. I did a video on it as well, just the layout, but or in the functionality and all that. So there's that. I just finished this up. This is my I used to have all my music and computer on shelves right here, so I needed more space, so I consolidated everything and made this little I don't know, shelf thing, imajig thingy, chingus. Just a just TV, HDMI to a Raspberry Pi 3, or I don't know if that's a 3 or a 2. And it comes into just an old receiver, subwoofer, and I have speakers on the floor joist there, and then one right there. Did a video on that too. I'll talk about my fans. These fans, I've got one here, and of course one at the door way over there. They're controlled by a switch that is right here. So I don't have air conditioning or anything like that down here. So get these going. It does a pretty good job keeping it cool. Maybe one of these days I'll have air conditioner some sort down here. Oh yeah, so you can see all the crawl space vents are closed. I made just little wooden keys almost to put in the crawl space vent holes, just to keep that nasty air out. These are the shelves that I just finished building. I don't have face frames or doors. Not sure that I'm going to put doors, but these have been great as I've accumulated stuff down here. So up here I've got some construction paper. These are the tracks for my track saw. Got a short one and a long one, and had to build 2 brackets there just to hold the long one. Got all my screws, fasteners up here. Probably need to build something for that. I didn't realize how many I had until I started putting them in here. These are just small tools. Some of these will end up on my bench. French cleat stuff, planer, squares, rulers, file, just normal stuff. And I put this at a height where I can get to it, that and down here, so I could get to it easy. So I've got same thing, just small tools. It's a Kreg jig, a couple Kreg jigs, pocket hole, and then this is all. This is just kind of open space right here, but paper towels, stuff like that. I got some caulk, polyurethane, paint, normal stuff, glue down there. This is just got a, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a milk bin with a really long extension cord. Sometimes I'll run outside. I'll get it out here, you can see. Yeah, that there. Got a boss stitch, or bow stitch, I don't know how you say it, nail gun. This is my jigsaw, multi-tool, some sanders, rigid router, and my circular saw. Got some my Finish Max painter, power painter. Some stuff, some blade guards, stuff, riving knife that I need to put back on, a dado stack, Forstner bits. This is just miscellaneous hardware, some screws, stuff like that I'll dig in if I'm looking for something. This is all my painting stuff, cups and whatnots for painting, rollers. This is my chop saw, my miter saw, DeWalt. Very nice, love this thing. I think one of the next projects will be a cart for this. It's kind of hard to move around down here, and I don't really need something that extends out that much. So, but this stand has been pretty neat to work with because, well, because I don't have anything to sit it on. So, anyhow, that'll be a project. Of course, have the Diablo blade in it as well. No complaints there. Got the dust port modification with another modification in order to get the shop vac in there. That's been fun. Let's see. I have just my scrap bin there. This steps off into the crawl space a little bit. It's my hose for my air. What am I trying to say? My air filtration. No, sucks up sawdust. You know that thing. Anyhow, just a couple other little things. I've got a pneumatic reel for my air compressor that I'm going to be hanging up somewhere, and that's in the box right there. Just some various stuff up in here. Got some paint up there, some kind of scrap plywood, nasty plywood. Nothing really good up there. Do have my wireless access point down here, so can get the tunes, and phone will work down here, and it connects back into that guy and then upstairs and then the whole thing. So alright, so this is my power. I ran a 100 amp sub panel from my garage, which is way up in there on the other side of that back wall, with this 224 cable. I did a video on that too, but I'm not going to pull the cover off, just basic wiring, no big deal. Let's see, had no other place for those clamps, so there they are, some spare blades. And started a pallet wall here, just haven't finished, but fire extinguisher, plastic bags, use them all the time, and of course your paper towels. This is my 220 plug for my air cleaner. Runs on an HVAC furnace fan. This is just a regular, I think this is a 20 amp breaker off of a 20 amp circuit. I use it for the table saw. Right now I run an extension cord from there all the way around here back to the table saw, but I need to change that. I wasn't sure where I was going to leave the table saw, so yeah. Here's the dust collector, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Just a Harbor Freight job. I move it around, but one of the next projects will be making it stationary, run some duct work, blah blah blah. Here are my clamps. Nothing special, one of everything. And then I've got some small clamps hanging off of a cast iron gas line. I guess that's what it is. Well, it's definitely gas line, but I don't know if it's cast iron, but kind of convenient, right? This is my lumber rack, which I also did a video on. It hangs from the rafters. Got various woods. This is a little rack I made off of the lumber rack for use these for my on the sawhorses for the track saw. Same thing with these. These are going to be stir sticks. Excuse me. Alright, this is all my pallet wood. This is some scrap plywood. Got some oak, scrap oak, poplar, some pine. Nothing special there. This is my huge pile of cherry. All of this. I don't know if you can see all that. Got this from my uncle, so I'll probably never use all of it. It's hardwood. Oh, I'm sorry, hardwood. It's it has not been planed. It's just straight up. Man, I am struggling for words today. Sawmill cut, whatever. So that's where the planer and joiner will come in. This is my shop cart / outfeed table. Got some couple drawers here. Sandpaper. And some extra storage there. Haven't done anything with that. I usually do, you know, finishing on this. Really a little bit of everything on this. Just wheel it over either over here or maybe on the other side, just wherever I need it. And it also serves as an outfeed for the table saw, which is where I'm at now. This is the Ridgid R45 12, 10, 12, whatever it is. I think it's called a hybrid saw, but it has been fantastic. Had no issues. I'm probably going to do a video on this guy, so I won't say too much about it, but it's been great for me. And I used to run, this is just a Ridgid shop vac, and I used to use that for dust collection, but then whenever I got the Harbor Freight, now I just use this for storage for the shop vac. And this is my random tool wall. This came with the house, and I thought about tearing it down, and then started putting stuff in it, and so I kept it. Just various things, hammers, ear protection, eye protection, basically a place that I put stuff where it doesn't have another place to go. So with that, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. It's really not this clean that often, so I decided to do a video now while it's clean. Alright, that's it. Go home.